Hey guys, the Van Josh here. Welcome back to my third vlog. So it's my fourth week in the van. Didn't make a vlog last week. I was just so busy with New Year's and everything that was going on, as you can imagine. Sorry a little bit about the clickbait title, but I seriously did come into a pretty dodgy scenario with gas, and I'll come back to that. I've kind of tried to write things down a little bit more for this one so that I don't keep losing my train of thought. Yeah, so I think in my last couple of videos I was talking a lot about how it was quite difficult to find a space to feel comfortable, a space to really relax. And today I'm in one of my day parks, and it's my first day park that I've added to my maps. I'm sort of trying to make it more of a thing. A day park is an area that's quite private, but it's a place that people would come to recreationally rather than suburbia. So at the moment I'm in a place called Yarra Bend, which is about sort of 7 kilometres from the Melbourne CBD. I did get that gym membership, and that's been much easier. So I've joined... I've joined Anytime Fitness, which is just one of the local gyms around here, and at the moment I'm stuck to the one. But it's just nice to have a place where you can always go. If I'm ever really bored, I think I can just go to the gym. It's nice to have a place to clean, to go to the bathroom if I have to. Yeah, so if you're full-time van living, I do really recommend getting a gym membership as well, even if you don't work out. So, to add a bit more structure to my vlogs, I'm gonna start with this last fortnight's cons, pros, and I'll finish off with telling you why I'm probably should be dead. So the first con, smashing, and here's a few photos here. It's just when you drive, inevitably you're gonna at some point be going over some huge lumps, and they will smash things. And I thought that I'd pinned everything down with blue tack, glue, but it's just never enough. I had a little Pac-Man piggy bank that I'd use to collect Australian 50-cent coins. I don't know if you know the Aussie 50-cent coins, but they're huge. They're like the size of doubloons. I don't know why they haven't gotten rid of them yet, but they're a real pain in the ass. So I put them all in these Pac-Man piggy banks. Took a corner really wide and smash. I heard them all flying out. I was stuck with huge amounts of 50-cent coins. It was not a great day for it. I don't know if I can find a fix to that in the future. It's tricky because it's like I don't want to glue something like that down because, you know, I don't want to lose that space forever just for something that isn't really 100% necessary. Plates, lost a bunch of plates. So these cupboards, I've added a little clip that keeps it from, you know, flinging open if something is to bang against it. The plates were too heavy, so I took a really lumpy road at some point and I heard about 4 plates all smash out. And that was a shame. And was that it? Oh, and another one, I got a little wine glass. Look, I shouldn't really have wine glasses anyway. But I had it in my hand, ready to pour myself a glass. And I went to the cupboard to just grab a tea towel, just so I could just wash it off. It was a little bit dusty. And my mug falls out, and that smashes too. It was my favourite mug. So, that's just life, eh? That's just life. Thirdly, it's weird, and I think it's similar to a house when you're trying to do renovations, but you're also living in the house. It's just really difficult to get anything done. So I asked the people that employ me at the moment if I could borrow their depot to do a bit of my van work, and they said yes, so I had to dedicate a day to doing the kitchen. See, it looks pretty nice, but it's pretty simple. It's probably not my best work because I didn't have a lot of time to do it. It still took me about 9 hours to do all that, to be fair, and it works fine. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I sort of have on the to-do list at the moment, but in order to do them, I have to get everything out, and then do all the measurements, do everything I gotta do. It's also like 39 degrees in Australia at the moment, it's really hot. And yeah, so it sort of slowed me down a little bit. But I guess that's just a standard con. I guess, you know, if you're thinking of doing the van life thing as well, try to dedicate as much time to getting it done before you move in, because it's just tricky once you've moved in. And last on the cons was, it's just, I drive a lot more now, obviously. Like, it's hard to avoid driving a lot of the time. And I'm trying to get out of that habit. I'm trying to get into places where I can stay for multiple days, but you don't really want to stay for places for multiple days. because you might draw suspicion. To move on to the pros, I go out a fair bit more. And so I used to be quite antisocial while living in the house. It's just easy to pour away a day to just sort of playing video games, sitting in your room, just watching TV. You know, it's easy to sink away the day. I think my brain's probably still recovering from that lack of, constant dopamine, and I do often find myself pouring away my time into my phone on social media and whatnot still. So I'm even trying to cut that out. I've added a little thing to, tell me how much time I'm spending. I'll have to put in a code if I keep trying to open the same app. And you find yourself, it's like I'll be scrolling around and I'll hit Facebook and it'll tell me, no, you've used it too much today. And so I'll do something else without even thinking. Like 30 seconds later again, I'll hit the icon again and try it again. So yes, reduced, not gone. I found that what people find creepy about somebody, a creepy old man living in a van, is how sort of hidden away they are. And so one of the best things you can do to both feel comfortable and have everyone around you feel comfortable is to just completely open up. And so in some places I'm finding you can get the doors open, people can sort of stare out, can look in, and I can look out. I'll just be reading a book. But it's nice, everyone sort of feels at ease. It's light and bright in here, and nobody really cares a lot of the time. You think that people are a lot more concerned about you than they are. But I think, like I said, the movement's become quite popular now to the point where it is quite normalised, and I think you kind of can feel comfortable just having everything open and out. So the last fortnight was, Christmas and New Year's and that little holiday period. For those who know me personally, they know I don't have a lot to do with the majority of my family. So I did spend Christmas just in my van by myself on a little camping ground in Kinglake, and it was really lovely. Just sort of being able to get out into sort of a rural zone. Just beautiful to be able to sort of have that. I was near bushwalks, and so I spent a lot of Christmas Day and New Year's just walking around, enjoying the nature. And lastly, nearly dying. Yeah, so that happened. So on New Year's Day, a group of friends and I went out camping. Obviously, as you do on New Year's Day, I got really quite drunk, which is why I'm still quite tired now, still kind of having a second day hangover. But I still can't quite figure out how it happened. But I was lying in bed, really quite drunk, so I was sleeping pretty damn deeply. When at about maybe 2 hours into my sleep, probably about 4 a.m, I just hear a whack, 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 some crazy alarms going off, which is weird because I never really specifically installed, a smoke alarm. But the first thing I see are my paper towels in flames. Still, for the life of me, can't figure out what caused it. I may be in a drunkenly state. I turned the element on, but there's no recollection of me doing that. There was nothing to indicate that was what was. So, can't figure out what started that fire. But either way, I don't have a smoke alarm, I have a carbon monoxide detector. And so it was only once the smoke had started to produce carbon monoxide that it had hit the alarm and made it sound. By that stage, I woke up to a cloud of smoke that had completely filled the van. If it wasn't for that alarm, I genuinely don't know whether or not I would have woken up, especially being so drunk. And yeah, it was a fully closed van. I'm really not too sure how. Yeah, pretty dodgy, that one. And so if you're watching this, you're living in a van, just absolutely get a carbon monoxide detector, get a smoke detector. So yeah, that's my 4th week update in the van. Overall, look, it has gotten a fair bit easier. Key takeaway points, definitely buy a smoke alarm. In order to make everybody else around you feel comfortable in the van, you need to be comfortable as well. Having your doors open, just being social, friendly, always just helps 110%. Third takeaway, takes a while to get used to this sort of style of living, but it does get easier. And even though it initially might feel really quite daunting, it can be really freeing as well. And it's something that I would really recommend doing while you're young. So look, thanks for checking in. 4th week in the van. Look forward to seeing you next time.